So it's still fairly early in the morning on Saturday when I'm filming this, so I still got a lot of bedhead going on, but I don't care, and I wanted to get this done because I've been meaning to do it for a little bit, and I'm behind. So you get the unkept me, keeping it real for the gram. A couple of cool things that I got shipped to me this week, or that I picked up this week. Some of them are for competition, others are just for like kind of a test and eval sort of thing. One of the things that I got is some stuff from Real Avid. I really like their stuff. Their tools are well thought out and purpose built. One of my favorite pieces of kit or pieces of tool that they make is this. They call this their armor's block. It's pretty much everything, excuse me, for somebody that's actually building an AR, not just assembling an AR or an M16. Every pocket in this thing has a purpose. Whether it's something for the T-block, something for like your upper receiver, putting in your forward assist or anything else, right down to assembly tools that work when you're putting together bolts or like replacing extractors or ejectors and ejector springs, which are a royal pain in the ass if you've ever done that. Now there's going to be some guys out there that's like, oh, I'm not going to replace that spring, it's a roll pin, I'm just going to buy a new one, bolts are cheap. Clearly you have too much money and not enough fucking sense. And I have way more snot than I need. But this block has a lot of really intelligently designed stuff. Like you can park your lower on here so that you can insert other pins. Like your bolt hold open, your mag release, and more importantly, and this one's a really big pain in the ass for a lot of people, you can actually park your whole lower receiver right here when you're putting in the rear pin for your trigger guard. That's a big stop for a lot of people, because I've seen a lot of people tapping that in and they get it in one side and they get that trigger guard kind of cattywampus and then they pound down on it and the rear ear for that is not supported and they smash through. And I've seen several people do it over the years. Lots of people don't do it, so if it's not you, that's cool. Don't like take offense that somebody else can fuck up. Not everybody is capable of living up to your standards, so you go with your IG self. But this checks a lot of boxes. Josiah over at the Slide a Gun Shop got me one of these, actually got me a couple of these, and introduced me to Real Avid. So I've picked up a couple of their tools over the last 2 years. Most of them I got directly from the Slide a Gun Shop, because every time I'm in there, I'm like, hey, I need something new. Josiah's like, got it. And my dogs are barking at something, but I don't hear my wife shooting at it, so I guess we're good. Another thing, speaking of my wife, that I got from them is this. And I'm not really going to talk too much about this because she's in the next room and she doesn't know she's getting this yet. But I really like the texture of it. I really like the fact that it's also purpose-built for these. Not exactly a handgun thing, but caliber specific. They make those in several different bores. And I like those a bunch too. The other thing that I like about the armor's block is the rear section of it. Like, this is a magnetic board, and all the extra pins and stuff that you have that like roll off the table when you're trying to do an assembly, they stay put when you're doing an assembly. The other thing that I really, really like about this thing is this little pocket here takes a bolt, the cam pin hole sets right there, And it lines up perfectly with, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but this little tit comes down there. Back it out, back it in. And like I was talking about earlier with the ejector, that pushes the ejector in and holds the whole bolt in place, so you can knock that pin out and it'll fall right out of this pocket. It's captured underneath your block, so it'll stay right there. It won't like fall onto your carpet, and then all of a sudden you're doing like the gunsmith crawl trying to find it, like you lost a friggin' contact. But again, super, super well laid out. That works backwards for putting one in as well. Again, when you're disassembling stuff, remember everything goes in from the right and right in, left out. And this obeys all those like generalized rules for gunsmithing. So again, it's a really well thought out piece. And I really like this thing for doing a lot of assemblies and stuff. In the last year, I haven't been doing a lot of assemblies. I've done a couple for myself, 1 or 2 for the shop, but I'm not doing it on like a production level anymore, which is kind of awesome. Josiah got me one of those when I was doing it, and it made my life so much friggin' easier. The other thing that I really like about that is that and this one being my wife's, but a couple of the other Real Avid tools are landing in my box, my Tactical to-go box. That I'm using for demos and for competitions this year. The other thing I've got is this. And you guys have seen me do a lot of stuff with them, Krate Tactical. I run all their targets on my range as well as when I teach classes. And this is a new product that they've got, so this is kind of an unboxing. I haven't really opened this as of yet. So yay, let's see what's in there. It is kind of a nice box. Magnetic enclosure, because we all like boxes. And then business card. Ooh, there's a code for you guys. 15% off their stuff. Something about safety and operation. Nobody wants to be safe. And here's the actual item. It's actually a pretty weighty little piece. Okay. So this is very similar to my other. Oh, that's a shitty thing to have happen right now. There we go. So it's very much like that, but this blade actually opens like it's got somewhere to be, and it wants to be there like right now. Looking at the two of them kind of side by side, I would hazard a guess that these are actually built in the same factory. So this is the Out the Front by Krate Tactical. Try that. My wife just came in. My wife has entered the chat. So Sarah's going to check that out. I'm going to take this that I talked to you guys about. And she hasn't seen it yet because she's looking at the pointy thing. And it also comes with like the tools to correct it. The cool thing about these is if they happen to open up inside your pocket and they get stopped like that, you can just pull them out. That's actually like that by design. That way it doesn't like shoot itself through your femoral artery and like you bleed out in your jeans. But this one actually came with like the tools for disassembly and cleaning, which I'm not going to take this thing apart. But since you're in here, this is for you. It's like a bore snake for
yeah, BMPX.
Yeah, thank you. My brain totally just stopped. So along with this, it came with a Molly-friendly Velcro pouch, which would probably be kind of cool. I'm not going to use it because I don't put On my gear or kit, I keep fixed blades. I don't generally keep out the fronts or like any kind of pivot blade stuff. This sort of thing is more for like pocket litter than it is for like TurboGrafx 16 kind of like stabby stuff. She always cuts away from herself, which is towards me, which, you know, there may be some inadvertent stabbage that may happen. You know, like some passive aggressive shanking. Anyway, I didn't want to open it because like it was for you. And I do enough of that. But the texture on this is pretty cool. And everything is inside, like you turn it inside out. Their shit is so it's so cool. You turn the damn thing inside out to gain access to the parts. And the thing that I really dig about this is Real Avid thinks of this stuff, and like most folks don't. The hardest part of these things is getting the hardest part of a bore snake is that the lead for it is kind of it's a friggin' shoestring. So it doesn't always go through as easy as you want it to. So they've put like a ball on a fairly stout piece of like fishing cable. You can feed it through and then you drop it inside there. And then this becomes your handle to drag it through. Now, I wouldn't use it on something suppressed because I'd be worried about this coming off or being shredded inside the suppressor. But like the brass on it or the copper brush on it is just big enough where it's going to do its job and not overstrip your barrel. And the same thing with the sock on it. Most bore snakes, the lead is like 24-inch rifle length, and then like the sock on it is like you could keep a family of 5 buried inside of it. But I still like their stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to catch you guys up on some of the new stuff we got a hold of. And now my wife has her new awesome stuff she can play around with. And I'm going to go get some more coffee. And maybe touch a boob. And we're definitely going to shoot some guns. So that'll be later on this weekend. But just wanted to give you guys an update. Assalamu cupcakes. Cupcakes, assalam. Boom.